Stop what you are doing and listen. Truly listen. For if you miss what I am about to reveal, you may walk through the remainder of your life as a beggar when you were born to command. The difference between the man who bends the world to his will and the man who is bent by it is not luck, is not talent, it is the way he thinks. And more precisely, it is how he believes. I am not here to inspire you. I am not here to entertain you. I am here to awaken you. You have within you the power to call forth riches, position, greatness, and command over your conditions, but only if you first seize control over the thing that controls everything else, your mind. The speech will not merely speak to your ears, it will instruct your spirit. It will instruct your spirit. If you will allow me to guide you, you shall come to know that the invisible laws that govern success are not hiding from you. They are awaiting your belief, your decision. I urge you, do not skip, do not shift. For I have built this speech as I built my life's work with purpose, with law, with spiritual power. This is not something you listen to once and discard. This is something you return to daily as you would return to the well of life itself. Listen to this speech not once, but many times. For repetition is the medium by which faith is built. Let these words seep into your subconscious until they no longer feel like mine, but like your own. That is when the world will begin to bend, not to me, but to you. Now steel your mind. For I am about to show you that when you think as if nothing is impossible, when you believe as if the result is already yours, and when you act as if the world must obey, it will. The moment you accept this truth, the laws of success will no longer be hidden. They will be yours to command. Let us begin. Part 1, the hidden power behind your thoughts. If you do not yet possess what you desire, it is because you do not yet believe that you deserve it. The world is not your enemy. It is your mirror. It reflects not your potential, but your dominant belief. If you carry in your mind doubt, hesitation, or fear, the world will return to you conditions shaped by those very states of mind. But if you fill your mind with belief, decision, and purpose, then you will command the world to obey. But your tools are invisible, your thoughts, your beliefs, your inner dialogue. A man becomes what he believes, for belief is thought fused with emotion and decision. Dominating thoughts, once mixed with feeling and repeated with conviction, descend into the subconscious mind, and from there they are transformed into reality. That is not philosophy. That is law. There is no magic in this. There is no mystery. The great secret of all successful men is that they chose their thoughts with intention. They backed them with faith, and they held to them with persistence. They did not leave belief to chance. They made belief a discipline. When I tell you that the world bends to the man who acts as if nothing is impossible, I do not mean fantasy. I mean accurate thinking applied to definite purpose through the law of belief. You may work 12 hours a day. You may toil and struggle and sacrifice. But if your thoughts are vague, if your belief is weak, then your results will betray you. For the subconscious does not respond to effort. It responds to conviction. It responds to what you believe is already yours. That is why belief, when backed by definite tests, is more powerful than work alone. Work without belief is wasted energy. Belief without action is mere daydream. But belief fused with decision is power. There is a vast difference between a man who wishes and a man who believes. The one hopes vaguely. The other knows with certainty. The one waits for permission. The other acts without it. The one looks to the world for proof before he commits. The other commits and makes the world yield proof. The world does not reward the man who waits. It rewards the man who declares. Wishing is weakness, but belief supported by decision is irresistible force. And so I give you this truth. I am the master of my belief. What I believe with emotion and act upon with decision becomes real. Say it aloud, not once, but every morning, every night, until your mind no longer questions, until your speech and your posture and your action all declare it without hesitation. Speak it until the doubt is gone. Speak it until you become what you speak. The tongue is the steering wheel of the subconscious and belief is the engine. If you hesitate, the world hesitates. If you believe, it obeys. That is the strange and perfect symmetry of life. You do not need to chase success. You need only to chase certainty. When your inner belief becomes definite, your outer world becomes obedient. Men do not win by chance. They win by internal cause. And that cause is always, without exception, a belief they refuse to question. You must now dismantle the resistance within you. Every excuse, every hesitation, every fear that says it may not work for me is a lie you accepted from the world. You were not born with that doubt. It was given to you by voices who gave up on their own power. Now is the hour to reject it. Tear it from your mind as you would tear weeds from your garden. Replace every mental hesitation with this phrase: it is mine because I have decided. Some will tell you that acting as if is self-deception. They are mistaken. To act as if nothing is impossible is not fantasy. It is spiritual law. The Creator did not give you imagination so you could pretend. He gave you imagination so you could preview the future before it arrives. And belief makes the future arrive. Act as if the wealth is yours and it will begin to assemble itself. Act as if the position is yours and your mind will gather the means to achieve it. There is a spiritual principle at work here, one not taught in schools or whispered in the corridors of average thinking. It is this: what you consistently believe and act upon with feeling and definite tests must externalize in the world of form. The world does not resist your belief. It responds to it. It molds itself to your inner commands. You are not waiting for conditions to change. Conditions are waiting for you to believe, And so I say again with solemn intensity, if you change your mind and act as if it were already so, life has no choice but to conform. The laws of success are not delayed by your environment, your education, or your upbringing. They are delayed only by your indecision. If you wish to see change, you must first become it. Speak differently. Walk with conviction. Carry yourself as if you are already what you seek to become. Begin today, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Begin now. Write your definite chief aim. State it aloud. Say it with power. Say it with power. Read it morning and night. Back it with feeling. Command your inner world, and your outer world will follow. You are not small. You are not weak. You are a master builder, and your belief is your hammer. Use it. Shape your destiny with it. Declare, I am the man who makes the impossible submit and act like it. Part 2, the faith that commands circumstances. Faith is not a passive thing. It is not a whisper in the dark or a timid. It is the mind's iron declaration that what I see within me shall become what surrounds me. Faith is power. It is fire. It is the force that drives men to move mountains, not because they have proof it can be done, but because they have decided it must be done. Faith is the spiritual substance by which every great achievement has ever been built. In Think and Grow Rich, I taught that faith is a state of mind which may be induced by autosuggestion. This is the vital key. Faith is not given to you. Faith is not given to you. You manufacture it by what you speak, what you feel, and what you repeat. Faith is the master chemistry of the mind. It is the elixir that gives life to thought. Without it, your aim is lifeless. With it, your thought becomes a spiritual command. It penetrates all resistance. Let me make this plain. You do not wait for faith to appear. You do not ask the world to give you evidence before you believe. That is not faith. That is indecision masquerading as logic. You decide to believe, you speak it, act upon it, live it, and the feeling will come. And once the feeling comes, it must be held intensified and directed toward your definite chief aim. That is how men build empires from nothing. Consider Henry Ford, a man not trained in engineering, not certified by academia, not backed by powerful men. He conceived the idea of the V engine and demanded it be built. His own engineers told him it was impossible. He told them, build it anyway. For months they returned with failure. And he said again, produce it. Why? Because he had faith. He saw it first in his mind. He believed it without apology. And the world obeyed his conviction. You must understand the world bent to Ford because Ford never bent his belief. He did not compromise with doubt. He did not negotiate with logic. He issued a command from within and held to it without retreat. That is faith, not in others, not in systems, but in the power of thought backed by decision. Ford did not wonder if the engine could be built. He acted as if it had already been done, and so it was. The power of acting as if is not play acting. It is preparation. It is spiritual law. When you move as the man who already possesses the goal, you train your subconscious to reject all that contradicts it. You are not pretending. You are programming. You are forming within your inner world a belief so strong, so consistent, so emotional that your entire being begins to align with it. This is how you command circumstances. Let no one tell you faith is idle. Faith works harder than fear ever could, but it does not toil in the dark. It moves with vision. Faith sees the invisible. It speaks of the unseen. It walks into tomorrow fully clothed in today's confidence. The man who walks in faith does not require applause, proof, or reassurance. He acts from inner law, and the universe obeys him because he obeys his aim. Because he obeys his aim. I walk in faith, speak in faith, act in faith. The invisible shall become visible because I have decided it must. The tragedy of most men is not that they aim too high and miss, but that they never aim at all. They wait for signs, for guarantees, for applause from others before they commit. But the man who possesses faith has already committed internally, and therefore has no need for external consent. He acts with conviction because he knows the world does not shape belief. Belief shapes the world. I repeat, faith is belief fused with emotion and fixed upon a definite chief aim. It is built by repetition. It is strengthened by decision, and it is proven by the fruits it produces. Show me a man of great faith, and I will show you a man of results. For faith is not invisible to the world. It leaves evidence. It leaves monuments. It leaves wealth. It leaves influence. It leaves influence. These are not the source of faith. They are its result. You must now examine yourself. Do you speak your aim with belief, or do you whisper it with hesitation? Do you carry yourself as the man who knows his success is certain, or as one who only wishes it might come true? Remember, your outer world will not exceed your inner confidence. If you doubt, you delay. If you believe, you accelerate. Speak what you intend to receive. Speak it until your voice echoes in the walls of your own subconscious. Faith must also be guarded. It is fragile in the beginning. It must be protected from the criticisms of the faithless, the sarcasm of the mediocre, the doubts of the drifting. You must not share your vision with those who are blind to it. Walk alone if you must, but walk in belief. Speak your affirmations in private if the world mocks them, but speak them, feel them. Build your castle in thought and hold it there until stone begins to appear in the material world. Let me tell you something sacred. You will never possess what you are afraid to claim. If you fear to speak it, you will never build it. If you hesitate to believe it, you will never achieve it. The rich man once said, "To him that hath more shall be given." But I say to you, the man who believes he has, even before the proof appears, shall receive that which others said was impossible. It's impossible for the richer. Now take up your definite chief aim once more. Read it aloud. Close your eyes and see it. Feel it in your hands. Walk through the corridors of your mind and sit at the table of your vision. Greet your future self. Shake his hand. Hear his voice. Act as if it is already done. And it shall be done. And it shall be done. Part 3. Nothing is impossible to the mind that believes. There is no such thing as impossible to the mind that believes. Impossibility is not a condition of the world. It is a confession of the man who has given up dominion over his own thoughts. When a man says it cannot be done, what he truly means is, I do not believe I can do it. And because belief is the gatekeeper to action, that man never begins, never builds, never breaks through. He is defeated in the silence of his own thought. The world is not shaped by real limits. It is shaped by the limits that men accept. And these are not laws. They are lies inherited from the failures of other men who passed their doubts forward as if they were truth. But I say to you, the mind of man, when fixed upon a definite object and backed by faith, forth that which it conceives. For there is no idea that cannot be done. There are only men who doubt it. Understand the power of your own subconscious mind. It has no sense of humor. It does not mock you when you speak of greatness. It does not question whether your goals are too large. It does not evaluate logic. It simply accepts what you give it. If you feed it repetition backed by emotion, it obeys. Whether that repetition is belief or fear, courage or doubt, wealth or poverty, it accepts and it begins to create accordingly. Let me give you the story of a man whose belief banished impossibility. Thomas Edison, the man who lit the world, did not discover the electric lamp because he was the most educated. He was not the wealthiest. He did not possess a blueprint handed to him by fate. He possessed one thing, and it was enough, a burning desire and an absolute belief that the light existed and must be brought forth. For 10,000 attempts, he met failure. Yet, he never accepted defeat. Understand the gravity of that. 10,000 trials, 10,000 obstacles, and never once did Edison accept the word impossible. He said, I have not failed. I have found 10,000 ways that will not work. And with each so-called failure, his belief only deepened. He acted as if the light was already his, and so his mind found a way to make it real. This is not luck. This is not fate. This is spiritual law in motion. You may not be an inventor, but the principle is the same. If you hold your aim with the same intensity that Edison held his, and you believe in its arrival before the world sees it, the world will have no choice but to shape itself around your vision. You do not need 10 talents. You need one belief. They do not wear masks. They do not break into your home. They break into your thoughts. They come in the form of the 6 ghosts of fear. If you are to walk in power, you must know their names, and you must reject them daily. If you act as the victim, it will create more injustice to support that identity. But if you act as the leader, the producer, the master of your fate, then your subconscious will begin to attract the ideas, the people, and the circumstances that match that image.